because the uncle said, yes, you can do something for my nephew. You must have a high professional management. You must have a high professional staff. It must be independent. It must do its policy and credit decisions by only its own decision. No other should interfere in it. The others can give frameworks. The others can say, we want you in our region to push up the development of a certain branch or whatever else, or, sorry?
Yeah, does Mr. Kuhn not know that? Is he trying to bring up a PowerPoint presentation for you, or does he know that his screen is...
Sorry. That's not mine, no.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That is Igor's presentation for the election of the King of Bavaria. And so the crucial point is that you have then to establish an entity which is, I would say, running under the flag of stability, transparency, credibility, and professionalism. At once, if it would be known if the institution finances flops, the public acceptance and the public credibility would shrink and would disappear. So it must be a highly qualified institution. And then, if you have made this first step and you can convince by the fact and success of the company that it works good and that your money as the buyer of debt securities is well looked for there, and that you will be paid back if the maturity has come, then it will grow in the public faith and public ranking, I would say. I will finish to leave some time for discussion. I said at the beginning, these proposals to encourage municipalities to establish saving and loan banks. Second one, to encourage the economy, the enterprises, the entrepreneurs, to form a guarantee bank. And this third one, very special one, either a national development institution and additionally regional development institution. These can only work in the framework of all the other things we know, which have to be worked on: tax system, currency questions, whatever else. But we are convinced that this is one further step, for example, to influence the emigration of young people, of skilled young people. They would then have also, that's the other point, a chance to work in such an institution to get skills. Probably we could attract young people who have emigrated, who are working in London, coming back here and saying, yes, we get less money in Riga, but I know that money is not all. There are other things I appreciate here than being in London, and so it is generally a contribution to stop the brain drain and to recover also and to establish also the general welfare and the optimism here in the country. So I would leave it as it is now, and I stand ready for questions and answers.
Very many thanks, Christian, for your excellent presentation. And now we know where the money must come from. It's the most important question in Latvia, where the money should come from. If we have good projects, if we had good projects to develop our economy, develop our infrastructure, how should we build our roads, how should we build our schools, how should we invest money in our public health system and so on. The only answer for this from this state is we cannot do that. We have no money, we have not enough funds, we can only cut the funds, but we cannot invest because it is not possible under this ideology. So Christian has shown us the way how the European country, the European country, part of the European Union, can act in order to invest state money into the development of this state, and this is not forbidden. This is how we can act. We are also, like Germany, independent country, but also part of the Union.
I could just add another thing. You know, these things we propose to grant loans to start up enterprise and so, these things never would be financed by private banks. So there will be not a competition between both, and no one of the banks would go to Brussels and say, well, there's a structure being built up by the Latvian authorities which is interfering in our competition. No. They leave these loans like a hot potato because they said the money we can get is too small and the risk is too high, so we leave that aside. Or we ask the debtor to pay such a high interest rate that he loses the interest and or he will never start. So this is absolutely in conformity. Another thing, if the government, in national base, or if the local or regional authorities guarantee the loans, or if they guarantee the deposit security, the debt securities of the bank, it is not a forbidden support which normally cannot take place due to the treaties of Brussels. It is allowed because it is not a competition case. It is to support these loans in a case where a normal bank would not give you a credit. So that's the great difference to the West LB and all the public owned banks in Germany we had, you know.
Okay. Yeah, many thanks, Christian, again. And before I give the floor to the questions and to the discussion, I just missed the opportunity to introduce Christian properly. So Christian is a distinguished professor of Saarbrücken Saarland University with 17 years experience with central banking, experience with bank regulator and ECB and EEC. And have I missed something? Probably many things. Journalist, yeah. 2 years of Börsenzeitung,
Yes.
You know. So Christian has really he talks from the experience and he talks from what is really possible in the European Union and how we can really build this development infrastructure for Latvia, which nobody can deny. Yeah, on no level it can be denied, not on European Commission level. Actually, it's only possible to stop and to block on our national government level. Yeah, where it could be stopped. Yeah, and where it is stopped. Yeah, so this is how where we should develop a really good bank. How to tackle that? How to persuade our national government to act. Yeah, finally. Okay, thank you very much. I give the floor to the questions, please. Yes, Veiko.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hafke, for a very nice and wholesome presentation. My name is Veiko Spolits. I'm the lecturer at the Riga Student University and simultaneously I'm the Parliamentary Secretary of the Ministry of Defense. And I'm curious. When we speak about the Sparkassen and the Kreditanstalt für den Wiederaufbau, do you have experience? Because it doesn't come to my mind because I'm mostly concerned about the international relations while in my lecturing duties. Is there any experience you've witnessed in Southeast Europe or in Turkey where you've had similar things? Because what I'm alluding to is basically that we had Sparkassen, Kreibank was there, but after the neoliberal Washington consensus policies of early 90s, they were privatized and disappeared. So do you have experience in some other place in Europe, or maybe in the world? Thank you.
You know, the Sparkassen were always a very sought after target by different players. One of the different players were the business banks who wanted to make disappear the Sparkassen. They didn't like them. We have in Germany regions where the Sparkassen have a market percentage of 60–70%. Whereas, for example, in Munich, as far as I learned, the big two now, the Commerzbank and the Deutsche Bank, and the UniCredit Hypovereinsbank have a market share of about, I think, 20%, and the Sparkasse München has 80% or 70%, and the cooperative bank has also some. The Sparkassen have mostly far more than 50%. Yes, that was a target. The private banks wanted to make disappear them, and there were some attention in the 70s, in the 80s, that they wanted to offer to the municipalities. Well, you have budget problems. We buy your Sparkasse. Yes, we pay a lot for it. Yes, and it was a good thing that we refused, because in the crisis, the Sparkassen, they had not done this fancy business, and they survived very good. The cooperative banks, by the way, too, and it was a big private banks which came into turbulences. The other way has been done in Italy. They have been privatized. They have been have become shareholders companies. As far as I see, totally Austria has been sold out. The Sparkassen have disappeared. Some are still concerning the name a little bit in memory of their old past, but that is my in France. I don't know. I think they always have been also have been privatized by big part. Spain too. So the old structure. My basic point is that there is a legislation or a bylaw, whatever else, where you will find profit is not the first target, and profit will remain in the house and will be used to finance social and other projects which are in the general welfare. So, and in this form, I think in Spain, Caja de and so on, they all are privatized. They are doing speculative business and so on and so on. So I think in Turkey, I don't know. I must admit, I don't know. No.
I would like to...
Kristian Kungs. Mēs...
Sorry, yeah.
Es gribētu papildināt vienkārši.
Tur ir jautājums.
Jā.
Yes.
Ņemot vērā, ka mēs abi divi esam sīrumi, es atļaušos stādīties priekšā Latvijas mazo un video uzņēmumu konfederācijas valdes loceklis Ēriks Rozensveiks. Es nebūšu tik optimistisks kā Polīšu kungs, bet Latvijā ir viena Sparkasse, pie kā viņi darbojās jau tuvu 20 gadiem. Tā ir Dzelzceļnieku krāja aizdevu sabiedrība, pie kam darbojās ļoti labi. Bet šaurā šīta uzņēmuma lokā. Pārējos variantos nekas nav sanācis. Tā ir viena detaļa. Pēc tam jūs mani pārsteidzat ar to, ka vienā no ministrijiem, tikai es nesaprotu, kurā, ir izveidos fonds, ar kura palīdzību var atbalstīt mazo un vidēju uzņēmēju darbību. Latvijai ir raksturīgi kopš tā brīža, kad sāka izlaupīt padomju mantojumu, ka mazie un vidējie sēž bez naudas. Tas ir viens. Otrs, Lombardu sistēma Latvijas bankām, tā ir norma. Ja tev nav ko ieķīlāt un ja tev pašam nav 20% sākuma naudas, tad tu vari netuvoties nevienai bankai. Un tas nozīmē, ka ja tev ir pat vislabākā ideja, tad tu vari savu ideju iesalīt kopā ar pārējiem kāpostiem. Līdz ar to, tā kā Armands teica, ja jau mums kaut kas ir vajadzīgs, tad mums ir vajadzīga tā sēkla, kur sauc par naudu. Šis te instruments mazajiem uz šodienu ir vajadzīgs kā ēst. Un tagad iedomājieties, ja mums valsts ietvaros parādās kā jauninājums maziem, tas ir mikro uzņēmumi, kuriem, ja viņš sēž 72,000 latu ietvaros gadā, ņem 9% no apgrozījuma nodokļu veidā, tad jūs mēģiniet saprast, kas tas varētu būt pa uzņēmumu. Ražot viņš neko nevar, jo pretējā gadījumā viņam pat, teiksim, cigaretēm nepietiks. Līdz ar to, ja mēs šodien runājam, tad mums ir bezgala svarīgs tāds jautājums. Vai sadarbībā ar Vācijas finanšu struktūrām, kuras varētu ar savu pieredzi iespaidot mūsu finanšu ministriju un mūsu ministru kabinetu, vai nevarētu šo te jūsu pieredzi sistematizēt? Jo jūs taču pēc 45. gada Vācija līdz Maršala plānam arī bija līdzīgā situācija, bet mums šis posms ir ieildzis. Un 20 gadus dzīvot šādā situācijā, te jābrīnās, kā mēs vispār vēl dzīvojam. Tātad, es atkārtoju, būtu ļoti vēlams, mēs esam visi Eiropas Savienībā, lai būtu Vācijas pieredzējušas valsts ieteikums mūsu finanšu ministriju un ministru kabinetam, ko un kā derētu izdarīt, ieskaitot arī riska kapitāla kredītus, lai mēs varētu tikt no vietas. Es jums atļaušos tādu sīku piemēru. Latvijā ir pietiekami daudz neizmantotu īpatnēju dabas resursu. Tā ir augsne, kura paaugstina ražīgumu, prasti runājot 30% bez ķīmijas. Un tagad iedomājieties, lai veiktu 2 gadu izpēti šim te jaunajam materiālam, maksimums, ko var dabūt zinātniskā iestāde, šai gadījumā universitāte, kopā ar uzņēmēju, tie ir 45,000 latu 2 gadiem. Tas ir prasti runājot 90,000 izpēte zinātniskajam darbam 2 gadiem. Ko jūs variet ar 90,000 izpētīt, iedomājieties paši. Paldies!
So, thank you very much for your intervention. I'll keep the answer short. At first, I regret that I was misunderstood. I'm not so far informed by the ministries to say that they are specialized in financing small and medium-sized enterprises. No, that was a general remark. I don't know whether they are focusing on small and medium-sized enterprises. That was a misunderstanding. I do know only that there are departments in some ministries which are giving support to some special firms to some special companies. So, the second thing, what you said, taxing, yes, so what remains after you have worked hard, that's a general problem which I addressed, that I said we can think about one thing here, but it is not the only step you have to do. There has to be cleared up all the environment, the tax environment, procedures, how long do you need to get a concession, month or whatever else. That's not your problem alone. We have it also in Germany. There is a competition between the municipalities because some entrepreneurs tell me, no, we won't go to Frankfurt. It needs 1.5 years to get a concession to build up a building in the neighborhood. You get it after 4 weeks. You go there, and of course it costs a little bit more, and they take you more ground tax. But nevertheless, we go there because we want quickly to continue our production. Yes. So that's a general framework you have, of course, to have focus on, and not only on this. That's my short reply. Thank you very much.